A gamer. You see?
Way too. Yo, what's going on, my brothers and sisters? Hope you guys are having a good day today so far. So yeah, man, we are come November, I think, of this year, gonna be 3 years into the generation of that PlayStation 5, aka that TradeStation 5, aka the haptics Station 5, aka that SSD Station 5, and also the Xbox Series X/S. Almost through, well, 2.5 years come, I think, June, and then 3 years in November. And yeah, I just wanted to do a video on rating this entire generation of gaming so far. I would probably rate this generation of gaming probably an 8. An 8 so far. We've already gotten games like Returnal so far, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, Sifu, Kenna, Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon, Hi-Fi Rush, Hogwarts. That's not something that came with the PS4 and Xbox One until, like, I mean, it wasn't like we weren't getting anything, but I feel like it took longer to get those quality games that we've already seen in this generation. I honestly feel like we've kind of been spoiled as far as, you know, just with the games we've gotten. Like, these actual good games will drop and, like, suckers be like, ah, it's mid. Like, the fact that God of War Ragnarok came out and you got some people that said, it was a disappointment. If that game was to drop on PS4 in the first 2.5 years, suckers would literally be gawking 3,000 that game. The fact a game like that can drop and suckers say it's a disappointment, the fact that, you know, a game like Elden Ring can drop, a game like that, like, I honestly feel like we've been getting blessed this gen, and we still got more and more games coming. This whole thing with remakes and remasters, so you're starting to see, again, we're going into year 3 of this gen, and you're kind of starting to see that a lot of, you know, the most hyped up titles and like the biggest titles that people are looking forward to are starting to become remakes and remasters, right? You know, with RE4, the Dead Space remake, we got some other remakes coming in the future. This is something that's kind of been, you know, a cycle, I'd say, these past like 2 well, even PS3 was doing it, you know, at times. I just don't feel like it was as often. And then you have some people that'll be like, oh, we don't need no remakes and remasters, they're bad for the industry, we need brand new games, which I do agree with. But at the same time, it's like, no, if you got a remake of a game that you actually wanted, like if these suckers dropped a SOCOM remake or a Dino Crisis remake or a Jack and Daxter remake, then suckers will be like, oh snap, oh snap, I'm buying that junk day one. Remakes and remasters are only a problem when it kind of comes out of nowhere and it's like, who the freak asked for this? Who the freak asked for this? And it's being done so often to where it's like we're getting, or at least it feels like you're getting more of that than actual brand new games. I don't feel like remakes and remasters are bad for the industry. They clearly aren't going nowhere because devs keep on doing them because they're so successful. People are buying this stuff. They would not keep on doing this junk if there were no interest. To me, it's all about that balance. Like, as long as the balance is right and the remakes that are being done, like, actually need to be done. Like, again, take for instance the whole case with Last of Us Part 1. If it's for a game that it actually warrants a remake because of either time or the game aged like milk, then, you know, a remake and remaster, I feel like I have no issue with, you know, with those being done, as long as, again, that balance is there. Single player wise, I feel like single player games, honestly, for the past like probably since 2018 maybe, have honestly been like the best aspect of gaming. Single player games have come back with a vengeance. I feel like the best games we've been getting these past few years have all been single player based. All of them. So yeah, I do love that because I always love me a good single player game. But what is the sacrifice of that? Multiplayer wise, that is honestly my biggest issue so far these past few years in gaming. As much as I love single player games, I also love me a good multiplayer game. And again, outside of your Fortnites, your Apexes, which I just re-downloaded because I'm so freaking thirsty for a shooter right now. Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, like, bro, multiplayer gaming, and I'm mainly specifically talking shooters, has probably been the weakest I have ever seen in quite some time. From the Sony standpoint of PlayStation, there is virtually no multiplayer exclusive game to play on PlayStation right now. They have nothing. SOCOM is dead. Resistance is dead. Factions 2, who knows when the freak that is going to come out. Killzone is dead. I feel like as far as multiplayer goes, fighting games have been saving me from that like multiplayer aspect. Fighting games, especially this year, is going to definitely save me on a multiplayer level. But for multiplayer shooters, it's tough to find one, bro. This whole, stuff with Battle Royale, I mean, the hype for Battle Royale shooters is nowhere near what it used to be, and I am so glad and thankful for that. They were good for like at a time, but I do feel like it has done damage to like the overall experience of a good multiplayer shooter. Those like traditional shooters that were just great, even COD today, bro, look at the traditional COD multiplayer experience. It's freaking trash now. All they care about is Warzone. The whole stuff with season passes and battle passes and stuff like that. Multiplayer games today, damn near every multiplayer shooter you hop into, it either has a season pass, some type of season pass, or a battle pass. And let's take something for Halo Infinite, for instance, a game that never depended on stuff like that. All of a sudden, you're seeing games that are now trying to add that into, how they do the multiplayer. And honestly, battle passes and season passes is nothing really but an excuse to not give you the full product day one. It's nothing but like a cushion to give them more time to put out content that should have been in the game from the get-go. So honestly, from that standpoint, like a lot of these shooting games today, like out the gate, it's a red flag for me. Out the gate, because they all have this season pass and battle pass with it. And I know that's today how devs make their money. But it's not like bro, if you drop a good multiplayer game and it has good content day one, and then a few months later, hey, you put in some new maps or new content, if the game is good, people are going to buy it regardless. You don't need to have a battle pass or a season pass for this stuff. So I feel like that's something that has really affected multiplayer shooters. From the Xbox standpoint, yeah, you suckers. We all know about all these, devs that Microsoft bought out, but bro, until we actually start seeing the games and these games actually releasing, Hellblade 2 has gone comatose, dark. We don't know what's going on with that. Starfield is supposed to be their big game this year. I pray Xbox does well this year. I really do. I want them to do well this year. I really do. Yeah, that's what I would rate the generation of that PlayStation 5 and the Xbox X and Series S so far. What rating would you guys give this generation so far? What are some of the things you like about this gen so far? What are some of the things you don't like about this gen so far? What are some things you feel like can use a lot of improvement in this gen so far? Leave all that and more down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next video, my brothers and sisters, I'll catch y'all boys in my next one, all right?